Hey guys, it's Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about books that I would like to reread sometime soon. I don't typically reread books, honestly, because I feel like I constantly am setting all of these goals, like on Goodreads and things, for, I want to read 50 books a year, or which I just barely did in 2016, and this year I knew I was going to be busier, so I only set my goal for 35 books, I think. But I'm feeling very behind and kind of flustered about that because I'm like, oh, how am I going to read 35 books this year when I barely read one this month, which is so rare for me. I typically read 3 to 5 books a month. But I feel like all the pressure from that goal is preventing me not only from enjoying reading as much as I used to, but also preventing me entirely from rereading things that I would really like to reread. So I'm thinking about maybe doing away with that Goodreads goal. I don't know, I really love setting goals for myself, but lately I have been so busy and setting so many other kinds of goals for myself in my life. Watch my previous video if you'd like to learn more about what I've been up to lately. But I don't know, I mean, maybe I just need to not take the pressure of the goal so seriously. I will get to reading when I get to reading. But anyway, without further ado, here are some books that I really would like to reread sometime in the next year or so. The first one is actually 3 books. This is the Castings Trilogy by Pamela Freeman, and I read this, oh gosh, probably 7 years ago now, I think, and I just loved this trilogy. She's an Australian author. This is, I believe, young adult fantasy, and I'll have to correct myself in the notes below if I'm wrong on that, but I really, really loved this trilogy. And some of my favorite characters that I still have a very strong impression from these characters 7 years later, and that's rare in a book, and I would, since I'm also into writing fantasy, would definitely like to revisit this story because it, I think, will inspire me and give me new ideas, and just I want to visit this world again. I want to revisit these characters. It follows the main character named Bramble, who you see riding this horse here on the front, but if I remember correctly, there's also multiple points of view. We also follow another character named Ash and a couple of others, and it's just one of those epic reads, and I will probably reread this at some point in the next year or two. The next ones are, of course, by Patrick Rothfuss, The Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear. These are some of my favorite books of all time, at least of the last decade that I've read, and I know that he's working on the 3rd book in this series, and it's supposed to come out this year in 2017, but I haven't heard any more than that still. I know a lot of people are excited about this, and there's no release date set that I know of, and I really hope that he's almost finished because I really want to read it. But in the meantime, I think because it has been so long since I read these first 2 that I should probably reread them in anticipation for when it does come out, and I really do hope that it comes out this year. I also heard, guys, that there is a movie being made, or that the rights have been purchased or something for a movie to be made of The Name of the Wind, I think. If you know anything about that, let me know in the comments below, because wow, that would be amazing, and I hope they do a really good job, because this is one of the best books, in my opinion, like I said, in the last 10 years in fantasy. This was published in 2007, yeah, I believe, so literally this came out 10 years ago, and this one came out, oh, I love the maps, and this one came out in 2011, so we're due for another book. Patrick Rothfuss, please give us another book. The next one is a really fun read, Life of Pi. Now, this one I have actually read about 4 times already, and it's just one of those like comfort books for me, but I haven't read it in the last 6 or 7 years. So I read it a lot within like the span of 4 or 5 years. I read it like 4 times, and then it's just been sitting on my shelf ever since because I know it so well now, and then the movie came out and I have that too. And this is just one of those novels that really got to me, and I love the main character, Pi, so much. His innocence, his bravery, his perseverance. It's so inspiring, and I know that some people probably hate this book because of the ending, but I love it. I just love the journey of this book. And I haven't read any of Yann Martel's other books because I'm so scared that I'm going to be disappointed compared to this book. If you read anything else by Yann Martel and you liked it, or you didn't, I don't know, let me know in the comments below what you think. I would really like to know. But again, I'm scared because this is just like on such a high pedestal for me that I don't want anything else to ruin it. But I would definitely read it a 5th time. The next book is also a quick read, which I would love to reread sometime soon. It might help me actually to sort of get out of the book slump that I'm currently in. I'm not really in a book slump, I've just been super busy. It's not that I don't want to read, there's just not a lot of time right now. But this one is a very fun read that when did I read this? Maybe 4 years ago, I'm guessing. This is by Ruth Long, The Treachery of Beautiful Things, one of my favorite covers ever, and at least in YA. And this is a fairy tale woodland type fantasy. This is about a young girl named Jenny, and when she's young, her brother gets taken into the woods and disappears. She is kind of like looked for him ever since and has told people what happened, but no one believes her. They think that she's crazy. So she's had to go through psychotherapy for most of her life, but she knows what she saw. And later on, like 10 years later, is when the majority of the book takes place, and she finds a way back into the realm of fairy, and the adventure commences from there. I just found this very easy to read, but also very magical and enchanting, and something I would definitely love to explore again. These next books might be kind of unfamiliar to many of you, but if you are familiar with the video games called MYST, then you might know what these are. These are some of my favorite books from high school, and I don't remember even when they came out. They were probably out long before then. Yeah, this was published in 1995, so I would have been in 5th grade then. But this is, I think, is this the first one? I can never remember which one's which, and I think I might have even read them out of order when I was younger, but these just totally swept me away when I was in high school, and I just remember completely retreating into these books when I was having a hard time one year during school, and they were my friends. So you guys know what I mean. I mean, books are the best. And I really, really, really want to reread these, and I would like to collect them all in hardcover. They're all out of print, I believe. And so I've been looking them up on like used bookshops and stuff, and I want to collect. I have this one. This is MYST, the Book of Atrus, and if you're familiar with the games, then you can kind of guess what's in the books, but there's actually people in the books, unlike the games, so don't worry. But there's some cool illustrations, and it goes into the civilizations that existed before the video games. So, like how before there were no people. Does that make sense? In these books, there are books that people can use to link to different worlds, which I just love the concept of. They're mysterious and they're intriguing and very adventurous and kind of unlike anything else I've ever read. So the other two are MYST, the Book of Tiana, and MYST, the Book of Denis. I think I'm saying that right. And, oh, this one doesn't have this one has it. This one has like a cool thing. But as I said, I really want to collect them all in hardcover because they are very special to me, and actually my brother has borrowed these and read them all too when he was in high school, 4 years after I was, and so they're very special to both of us. I just remember being kind of taken away into these realms, and they were very atmospheric, I actually get really excited and giddy inside when I think about rereading these. So these are probably at the top of my rereading list because it has been so long, over a decade since I've read these. Of course, I would also love to reread all of the Harry Potter series, and I'm not going to take them all off my shelf because they're heavy and they're huge, but you know what they look like. It's been over 10 years since I've read all of those too, and I would love to reread all of them. Another series that I would love to reread is The Lord of the Rings. I also read those in high school and haven't read them since, so it's been a while, and you know, I think I saw the movies so many times that I just didn't pick up the books ever again, but there's so much more in the books and I would love to revisit that too, eventually. So yes, those are some of the books that I have really enjoyed in the past, enough so much that I have kept them around and want to reread them sometime soon. I would love to know in the comments below some books that you would love to reread, or maybe that you have reread recently, or if you have read any of the books that I mentioned, or if any of those look interesting to you. Let's talk about rereads in the comments below. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see future videos from me. I talk about books and beauty. And yeah, I will talk to you very soon in another video soon. Bye!